truth is, I am Iron Man.
Lieutenant Dan!
Inconceivable!
I got a bad feeling about this.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Flicks and Clicks, a second of it part to the one that you just listened to, if you listened to the first part before listening to this one.
If you haven't, I suggest listening to the first part first instead of watching the first part second.
But this is still the second part, regardless of whether or not you've watched the first.
Don't listen to the second part first. Listen to the first part first, not second.
That's like when people are like, oh my gosh, on like a Wednesday, like, oh man, it's my Friday today. And it's like, not really, it's everyone's Wednesday today. It doesn't matter if it's your last day of the work week. It's still Wednesday.
Yeah. Today's my Friday. Oh, yeah. Does tomorrow feel like Saturday? Nope.
Oh, man.
Because
okay.
I work at a school, I will always have Friday be my Friday.
Hey.
That's what we all dream of. So if you're coming from last week's episode, you'll know we have one extra person, not an extra person, someone who should have been there last time. But schedules are so hard to combine. That's not, my words are off today.
Welcome, Jordan.
I'm here.
Jordan.
I made it.
So
yeah.
We are going to finish our May Madness tournament, but before we start on round 2, we still have to finish our first round. And we have one more pairing that we could not come to agreement on. And so perfect timing for Jordan to be on here because he's going to decide once and for all who would win in a fight to the death between Noctis.
Fight to the KO, we decided.
Well, depending on who. Some people I don't think would stop at a KO, but
Fair enough.
Sonic or Noctis. Jordan, who do you think would win in a fight?
Wait.
I know, I don't want to know either. wait.
I know, I'm nervous to know, first off. And
My
second
heart
off,
is beating so fast, though.
secondly, are we like, I know, Jordan, you've done a bunch of research to make your educated decision.
No, it's
But are we-
unbiased, remember? It's unbiased.
Unbiased, but still educated. He's not just doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I know, but we're not educating him because that would be biased.
That's my question. Are we pitting arguments or are we just taking it? That's
I
my
think
question.
we're taking it.
Him listening to what we had to say last week.
Which is how he found out, by the way.
Yeah,
Because
honestly.
none of us told him.
Yeah, true.
No.
Well, Keelan was like, hey, do you want to be on the part 2? Because we didn't record that part. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. He's like, also, we couldn't come to a decision on Sonic or Noctis yet. I was like, all right. So then I listened to it, and I'm at work, and Mike is like, Jordan has to make a decision. I was like, what is going on?
It's like the
I was like
pressure's
freaking
so
out.
high.
It just skyrocketed. Yeah.
Yeah. I
And then as
think
you're listening, we're all getting more and more heated. You're like, I don't know if I want to be the decision maker here.
Yeah,
What
just
might
as an
happen?
update, since last week, Keelan and I have officially declared that we are not friends with Micah and Daniel anymore.
yeah.
I did not get that message.
And they may not
Yeah,
be
'cause
friends
I'm
with
not your
you,
friend
Jordan,
anymore.
pretty soon. Depends on what
Common
you
courtesy
choose.
to let them know.
Okay, so anyway, there's your pressure.
So,
My goodness.
so the winner of this fight is Sonic. It's very fun being here. Goodbye, guys.
Yes!
Oh my god.
So,
Suck it.
before-
Let's
go. Before
baby.
y'all get too
I
mad.
thought you were going to be right, but you're wrong.
See, I was super on board with Noctis when I first looked this up, but then listening to that episode, Daniel brought up a good point of Sonic can't die unless he gets hit twice with no rings. So I was wondering, about how long would it take Sonic to, if he gets hit, about how long would it take to get 2 rings, like pick up a ring before Noctis can hit him again? And so looking up Sonic's speed, in Sonic Unleashed, Sonic runs 2,500 miles per hour. Breaks that down to 416 miles a minute, 6.9 miles a second, which is 36,666.432 feet per second. And
Wow.
the time it takes from him to get hit and start running at full speed again is 4 seconds, which is an acceleration speed of, hold on, 9,166.608 feet per second, 4,583.304 feet in half of a second, and 2,291.652 feet in a quarter of a second. And I don't know how Noctis could hit him that fast.
Whoa.
That's too fast.
Oh man.
Hit us with some actual math. I love it.
The statistics come out.
That was my rabbit hole at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday.
Can I just throw one quick question out there?
Yeah.
Does it count as a knockout if you hit him
But
and
he's
he
not-
loses his rings?
He's not knocked out.
What?
He's still conscious.
Okay. Fair
So,
enough.
to be fair, it's going to be really hard for Sonic to knock out Noctis or like kill him or anything, but I think it's going to be way harder for Sonic to get knocked out, which is kind of why I think he wins. It's easier for
Ultimately,
him
in
to
the end, if
survive.
it came
Yeah.
down to that and neither one of them could do it, they'd knock themselves out of tiredness, and Noctis would hands down get tired before Sonic would.
Right. There's also this there's a Sonic comic that I didn't know about. And in one of the issues, I forgot to write down the number. He runs so fast. There's like 2 missiles on the opposite side of the world that are about to detonate. And he runs so fast
there are.
that time completely stops and he diffuses both missiles and it's like going so fast that like the force on his body is like having him stuck to like constantly accelerating and he almost dies. Crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, so I think maybe Sonic just wins this one.
Dude, that's the movie they should have made. Are you kidding me?
Right?
Seriously.
So good.
Wow.
Maybe that's
So,
gonna
yeah.
be the sequel. We don't know.
Have you seen the movie? You guys seen the movie?
I actually just watched it like a week or 2 ago.
Was it good?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
I would put
Might
it.
have to watch it.
I would. Well, this might not give enough context for you as to what I really think, but I would put it on par with Detective Pikachu, where like it was fun and interesting, but like, would I buy it? No.
I don't
But
think
I'm glad
I haven't
watched
seen
it.
that either.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, I told you it might not make enough context to make a difference.
Well,
I respect the decision.
Thank you.
I'm not going to fight anymore.
there
I
you
feel like
have
I
it.
just lost 2 friends.
just one. Tyler respects you, and Keelan just is ready to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect you as a human being, but these are the last words I'm speaking to you.
You're like, hey, Micah, could you tell Jordan that?
Yeah. Jeez.
So that completes the first round. Congratulations. It only took us 2 episodes. Now,
Thanks so
round
much
2.
for listening to Flicks and Clicks.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was going there.
every episode. The next matchup, Kratos versus Crypto. That's a funky one.
Kratos
Because-
versus Crypto, huh?
Kratos versus Crypto. Remember,
That's going to be a good battle. Just at first
Remember-
guess, it's a good battle.
Crypto can make people poop out their brains.
People, not gods.
Yeah.
Hey.
True.
I was just gonna say Kratos is a literal god.
Yes. He can clench, that's for sure. Can really hold it in.
Wow.
So are we taking Kratos over Crypto over clenching ability alone at this point?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm ready to vote.
I mean,
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about it.
Crypto has telekinesis. Crypto has range. Kratos can throw his axe, can't
Really,
throw it
really
forever. Oh yeah, but not as far as a laser.
I mean, I don't know.
Crypto has telekinesis, mind control. He can morph into other people. All he has to do is morph into Faye. Kratos.
So he's Kirby?
yeah, so he doesn't have to swallow people.
Oh.
But here's the thing: if we take the storyline of the most recent God of War into account, even if he turned into Faye, I don't think that would stop Kratos, because maybe he does have like strong feelings for Faye, but he knows that
What are you talking
Well,
about,
he-
Freya?
Freya.
No, Faye. Isn't that his
Oh.
wife's name?
Faye, his wife. Okay.
Could be.
Wouldn't that just make Kratos like super angry and like rip his head off?
Make it even
Like,
worse.
yeah, like all the things like pooping his brain out. Like I feel like that just ticked Kratos off, and that's not a good thing. Like
Here's the thing: what kills Kratos? Do we even know? What knocks him out? Did he get knocked out in the game?
I don't think so.
No.
I haven't made
It's
it.
gonna be
very
hard to
Oh
beat
wait,
Kratos.
no, there is one.
I mean, Zeus couldn't do it, so there's that.
Okay, but you can get killed by the first enemy if you just sit there.
Oh, I get
like
killed
dead.
all the time.
Right,
Yeah.
but remember, let's not forget the basic rule number 1 here. These are the characters in their prime, and I don't think Kratos in his prime is just gonna sit there and let Crypto make him poop his brains.
I'm just saying, by the logic of, oh well, Kratos never dies in the story, Crypto never dies in the story, you know.
Right.
So we don't know what would kill Crypto either because he hasn't died yet. I don't think.
I personally think that all the technology that Crypto may be able to bring and all of his mind control stuff is just no match for the god of war who defeated the entire Greek pantheon and is now working his way through the Norse mythology gods.
Fair.
I'm ready to vote. Mike has been ready to vote.
I already
since-
wrote it in.
Oh, you already wrote it in.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did.
Okay.
All right, all in favor for Kratos? All in favor for Crypto? Oh my gosh, audio listeners, you cannot believe what just happened. Crypto won by a landslide 100% vote. He's dead.
Wait,
Crypto is dead.
Keelan, you actually vote for Crypto?
Yeah,
Why?
I just explained it to you.
I think he
Okay.
makes some valid points, but I do think that Kratos would still beat the tiny alien man.
In hand-to-hand combat, I think, yeah, of course. But
But that's the thing is, Kratos never operates hand-to-hand combat like either. That's the thing is when we're talking about like the abilities that Kratos has, like let's say that Crypto does grab him with telekinesis and then like throw him around and whatever. Like Kratos just gets up and does some more, and then he gets angry, and then he rips through people.
And when you're talking
Yeah.
about like power, like in the most recent game storyline, like Kratos smashes is Baldur, right? Is his name? Yeah, he like runs Baldur like through like a giant mountain. Like yeah, like runs him through a mountain. And I don't think that kind of power can be duplicated by a small alien man with his telekinesis.
Well, but that's the thing is Crypto doesn't have the power and strength from within. He has it in technology and guns is the thing. He can take out entire cities the same. He could take out a mountain if he wanted to, just like Kratos, except he would be doing it in a flying saucer, not with his hands.
This is a tough matchup because I think Crypto wins in a lot of these fights, but with Kratos, like no matter what he does to Kratos, I can just see Kratos getting back up again.
Yeah.
So like he could throw him through a mountain, he could throw him through whatever he wants. He could toss him into lava. I think Kratos would get up out of lava. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but like somehow Kratos he always gets back up. That's one of the things about Kratos that makes him kind of the god of war, is that he always gets back up no matter, But that being said, I feel like there has to be something for trump cards. Like you can't just say, "Oh yeah, he'll always get back up," because then who is going to take him out?
Sonic.
He could have
Yeah,
done
that's
it.
this is
Honestly-
why you fought so hard for Sonic, is because you want Sonic to win. That's your underdog win.
No, because Sonic goes against the Dragonborn, and I already know who I'm voting for there as well.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
All right,
well, I
Crypto
know
is
who I'm voting
dead
for, too.
or knocked out. Moving on to the next one. That's a kind of cool matchup. Aloy from Aloy. I said that right? Right?
Yep.
Aloy versus Jack and Daxter.
That's an interesting one. Both have ranged capabilities.
True.
Both are very agile.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say both can drive.
Which may not be necessary.
Yeah.
In fact, driving might be a bad thing for Jack and Daxter, right? If they get in a giant car, because doesn't Alloy like take down giant robot T-Rexes?
That's a good
and
point.
stuff?
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
I wouldn't
good
want to
point.
be in a giant machine.
It would not be all that much of a benefit. Okay, so in the Jack and Daxter games, you get hit multiple times. Okay, yeah, and Aloy gets hit multiple times. She has multiple different types of armor. She's used to fighting in the wild. Jack and Daxter are pretty used to fighting in the wild too.
Is there?
Except in the later two ones, they're more of city folk.
I don't know as much about Jack and Daxter. Do they have any sort of like are they stealthy in any capacity? Because that's an advantage. If not, that's an advantage to Aloy, is that she does have the ability to be stealthy, set traps, be strategic, wait, sneak, all those kinds of things.
They can turn invisible
Yeah. Yeah.
and slow down time.
Yep.
I think Jack, especially with his eco boosts later on, would be pretty difficult for Aloy to figure out.
I agree. That's one thing I keep forgetting. And in the in the later ones, his dark eco powers are definitely very strong and powerful. Plus, he has the light eco in the third one, which he can heal, he can fly, he's got a shield. What's the other one that he has? Oh, slow down time. So,
Aloy can eat berries. I mean, it's the same, right?
she lives off the land. I think I know who I'm voting for.
I really do think this would go on quite a while, though. I think that they would last. Each of them would last a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my only comeback here for Aloy's sake is that she also has that crazy armor that you unlock at the end,
That's very true.
which deters literally any energy.
I forgot about that. And we're going at their prime. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what's it called? Shield Weaver armor.
She can't get hit, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think though that's why the eco is what wins. Because
I don't know enough about the eco. Can you explain that?
So Jack in the second Jack and Daxter game is experimented upon by the city officials, and he gets injected with dark eco. It takes to him, and he's able to turn into Dark Jack, which basically has him as a long-clawed purple lightning monster who can just absolutely slay. So that's the crazy powerful one. It's your classic evil, overpowered, out of control. But then in the third one, he gets light eco powers, which is the opposite. And so he has the ability to heal himself. He has the ability to fly for the most part. It's more of a glide, but it's pretty much to fly. He has the ability to put a shield on, and he has the ability to slow down time, which is probably one of the most interesting ones. I think with the slowing down of time, he's got Aloy beat.
Well, Aloy can slow down time too for brief moments. I don't know how long it lasts for him, but she has the reflexes where in the game as the player you can slow down time and focus your shot for crit hits and stuff like that. So she's I don't know if that is on par with Jack and what his slowdown is or not, but
The thing. Go ahead, Keelan.
I was gonna say his is more supernaturally slow. It's not just slow to aim a shot or slow to hone your senses. You can slow down time and punch people, and they won't really even move until time resumes. It's very close to freezing time,
gotcha.
kind of, I guess. Very, very, very slow. He also has a gun that shoots nukes.
He does. I think he, literal nukes, it leaves a mushroom cloud. I forgot about that. I've got my vote. I think we should put it to a vote. Unless people have more arguments.
I was just going to say another aspect of this that we haven't really talked about is just the the worlds that they live in. So Jack and Daxter, especially, the further on that you go, it's very techy, very new world, very like everyone's creating new things. And Aloy is sort of in the similar place, but they're back to tribal times again. So she has cool technology, but not the kind that's like hover cars and dark and light eco and stuff like that. I just feel like it's Jack and Daxter's at a different, like at a significant advantage based on the worlds that they live in. And so I think that's something what we need to take into account as well.
Yeah. I think taking the worlds into account is something we need to make sure we're doing moving forward for sure. I agree.
Yeah. This is a tough one, if I'm honest. I don't really know much about Jack and Daxter, so maybe that's partly why it's tough for me, at least. But
No, it's tough for me too, and I know a lot about both.
it's just they seem like they're very similar in so many ways. And I really think it comes down to Jack versus Aloy, because I don't know if Daxter really is adding enough to Jack.
No.
He never does.
That's a good point.
So,
He never does.
so like,
He just
Just-
sits on the shoulder.
Just funny
Yeah.
quips.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
He would win in Quiplash. I mean, for sure.
Probably.
Aloy would be like, "What is humor?" She's not very funny.
She's not. She's pretty stoic.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All in favor of Aloy. All in favor of Jack and Daxter. Hey.
Everyone except for Daniel voted for Jack and Daxter. For those of you who are only listening. Oh, and just so you know, everyone except for Keelan voted for Kratos in the round one. So I don't know that we explained that, but
Actually, no, you're right. And we left off with Keelan saying that, oh my gosh, Crypto wins. So
yeah, which was
Crypto
a
didn't
joke.
win, Kratos won.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one is Doomslayer versus Spyro the Dragon. Jordan, I first played Spyro at your house, I think, or you.
That sounds.
No,
about
maybe
right.
that's Crash. Maybe
Maybe.
I'm thinking of Crash. I don't know.
It's probably Crash.
Who do you think would win this fight?
I don't know. Like, Doomslayer fights in hell, right? So, dragon breath probably isn't a problem. Like,
Especially
Probably
mini
just like,
dragons. Yeah.
all right, yeah, like whatever. I don't know. I don't know enough about Doomslayer other than that. Yeah, he lives in hell and shoots guns. So, kind of lean in that direction, but yeah, I think Doomslayer has it. Spyro's just too small.
What does Spyro do when he turns? Oh, I don't remember what happens. His horns
He
turn
kisses
gold
a
or
fairy.
something.
He kisses a fairy, and then he gets extra powerful fire breath.
Okay.
Well, we're going with Spyro in his prime, which would probably be in 2 or 3, where he gets all kinds of different power-ups. One of them is he can fly forever, and while he's flying forever, he shoots fireballs. So I don't know if that... But again, I mean, Doomslayer's kind of used to fire, so it might not matter.
Yeah, I feel like his suit is probably engineered to withstand high heat, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I think that the only thing that Spyro might have is that he can charge, and even then, it's not gonna beat Doomslayer. I think Doomslayer's just kind of got it. He's literally almost built to fight somebody like Spyro.
He really is. It's very true. I don't know, man. If Nathan Drake had won over Spyro, I mean... Okay. I'm ready to vote.
Me too.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, Spyro. Love you, man, but I don't think you're going to win this one. All votes for Spyro. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Oh.
Spyro.
Oh, wait.
Sorry,
Oh, wait. No,
I'm
no,
not
sorry,
voting for
Spyro.
Spyro. We all didn't know what we're talking about. Which
I was like,
confirms
wow. Okay, everyone voting for Doomslayer, raise your hand.
that
Yeah, that
everyone-
would
makes
be
more
all
sense.
Unanimous.
5
Yeah.
for Doomslayer.
Doomslayer has killed Mario and Spyro, 2 of the cutest characters on the list.
Well, his name is Doom Slayer. It's pretty intense. Probably doesn't care about cuteness.
His name should be Mario Slayer.
Also, I don't know if I would consider Mario cute.
Yeah, I don't think plumbers are cute.
Yeah.
But like in terms of video game characters, he's a cutesy kind of character. Like he's not an intense.
He's definitely cuter than Luigi.
rugged.
I mean, if you comparatively, he's definitely the cute one. If it's him and
Are
Luigi.
we talking
'Cause
about
Luigi's
little
like,
Mario or like big Mario?
The
We
littler
talked
the
about it
better.
a lot, dude.
The littler the cuter.
All right. The next matchup. Oh, this is a good one. Sora
Haha.
versus Sephiroth. Whoa, that's crazy. No one's ever seen that before.
Nope, never. Only in 2 different video games do they actually
Man.
fight against each other.
He wasn't even in 3 at all, was he?
Nope.
Nope.
Sephiroth. Wow.
0 Final Fantasy characters, in fact. In all
Until-
of Kingdom Hearts 3 until the very end of
The DLC.
Remind.
And
And they're
they
not
just
actually
stand
in
there.
it. Exactly.
Lame.
Can I just say this? I think that Sora beats Sephiroth, and that's it. Only because we've seen it in 2 video games play out that way.
Plus, it's not one of those, oh, his friends are his power, because I'm pretty sure he fights him by himself both times. Is that true?
One of the
In
times-
two for sure, he fights him by himself.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because they
yeah,
get
because
locked out.
they get locked out of the room. Yeah.
In number 1, it's a one-on-one battle in the Coliseum, so it's still...
Yep. There you go.
Here's the thing. Is Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth at his prime?
Oh, that's a
Or
good
is
point.
that Sephiroth from...
No, he's not. But Sephiroth at his prime would be Sephiroth in final boss mode at the end of Final Fantasy VII, in which he's literally hurtling meteors and destroying half the world pretty much in its wake. So
Which Sora has fought very similar things.
that's true. That's true. And he prevails. In fact, multiple times he's done
Yes. Yes. Jordan, what do you think?
I haven't gotten very far in Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know like anything about these characters. I don't know if Sora's beaten him twice in 2 different Kingdom Hearts games. Even if it's not Sephiroth's most powerful, it probably also wasn't Sora's most powerful at that
True.
point. So it's like there's got to be some kind of scaling effect, right? Like I think Sora still takes it.
Yeah.
Underdog.
Let me just pose a question here. So we've got 2 similar characters. Who has the sharper sword? Because I think a Keyblade probably isn't very sharp. You know what I'm saying?
that.
Well, it's not really a sword.
Well, it's a blade. So
Right.
who has the sharper blade?
It depends what Keyblade you're using, really.
I wonder
Oblivion's
this all
pretty
the
sharp.
time.
That's true.
Is it sharper than Sephiroth's 8-foot sword, or is that not Sephiroth?
That was Sephiroth.
That
Yep,
is.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No, Sephiroth hands down has the sharper sword
Yep.
and the longer sword. And it's also one of the hardest battles in all of Kingdom Hearts. So,
But not the hardest. 'Cause what's the Lingering Will? I've watched you, Tyler,
yeah.
fight Lingering Will, and he can beat Lingering Will, which
Yep.
is a lot harder than Sephiroth.
yeah. Yep. I think in a KO match, I think Sora wins. This is interesting because I actually think that if it's a KO match, Sora wins. If it's a to the death match, I think that maybe Sephiroth would win.
Here's something else too. Sephiroth loses in Sora's world, right? Both times. If Sora was in Final Fantasy, which isn't really much different, but I mean, does that add anything? Do you think Sephiroth wins in that fight?
Sora's whole thing kind of is like going to strange worlds.
Other
that he's never
people's
been.
worlds,
Yep.
shoot, Sora wins.
Yeah. That was supposed to be a ploy for Sephiroth. Like when I was formulating in my mind was like, no, maybe Sephiroth because, but then I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Sora's usually in other people's worlds, has no idea where stuff is and still makes it.
Yeah,
Is that why
this
I'm
was a
always
fun
lost
one.
when I play Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, this was a fun one because these people have fought in video game before.
It's actually awesome.
Yeah.
So all in favor of Sephiroth for the sharper sword? Anybody?
I
Really,
mean, yeah,
Jordan?
I think Sephiroth has the sharper sword. If that's what we're voting for, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I
Okay.
also think Sora wins.
Yeah, everyone who thinks Sora wins, raise your hand. That's all
Unanimous.
5. In a Ninny Mouse fashion, Sora has prevailed. I just want to point out that so far in the, quote unquote west side of the bracket, Kratos is number 1, Jack and Dexter number 8. But then number 29 and number 21 are jumping in. So we got some underdogs. Number 21 just defeated Sephiroth number 5, so it's a good time.
What's next?
The next one, Samus from Metroid versus Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. I think Snake is dead.
Nice
Toast.
snake.
See ya. Not
That's what I'm
solid
gonna call
anymore.
him from
Liquid
now on.
Snake.
I'm gonna
Oh.
call
I was
him
just about
nice
to make that
snake.
joke.
Nice.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, even though Solid Snake has some cool abilities and he's very good at hand-to-hand combat, Samus has a big gun for a hand
And you can freeze the sun,
and can freeze the sun.
apparently.
To be honest,
But that'll just help.
I want so badly to vote for Solid Snake just to give justice to Master Chief. I'm still grieving Master Chief's loss.
Well,
You would
but
have
that's
a-
the thing.
I agree.
That's the thing, though, because if Master Chief lost to Samus, then it's better if Samus wins the whole thing, because then it's like, well, Master Chief did lose to the one who won it all. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Doesn't
true.
ease my wounds.
It would. Well, okay, but
I still hurt.
yeah, all of you Master Chief fans out there, sorry.
I think if there was 10 fights, I think Snake could win maybe 1 or 2 of them.
That's a good
I
point.
think he has the ability to be able to win, but I think Samus just has got too much going on.
Just think, if Samus freezes the sun, then Solid Snake, Solid Snake could hide better.
That's true.
Oh. Yeah, I think Samus wins, though.
Yeah.
All in favor of Samus winning, raise your hand.
That's all 5.
Ah, unanimous.
In a Ninny Mouse.
A Minnie Mouse.
Next, we have ranked 10th, Geralt of Rivia versus 7th, Ratchet and Clank, the dynamic duo. Well, this is going to be interesting. I think this is a lot closer than Geralt versus Sam Fisher, for sure, and just as close as Ratchet and Clank versus Ezio, if not closer. This is going to be a hard one.
I honestly think this is one of the first ones that I truly, truly want somebody with like some animation technology to animate this fight. Mostly because I just really want to see Geralt in the Groovatron stuck and getting so angry.
That would be awesome.
Dude. Have you, by the way, small plug for, there's a channel that does this on YouTube. I can't remember what the name of the channel is, but they'll pit people against each other. So there is out there a Link versus Sora and things like that. And they'll animate it. It's pretty cool. So I'd encourage you to look that up.
It might have been you that told me about it. I saved one of their videos. I don't have good enough service to even open up YouTube at the moment. Anyway, moving forward, Ratchet is a funky little animal. Geralt specializes in killing funky little animals. Kind of.
But Ratchet has a jetpack.
Yeah, but Geralt took down a griffin and wyverns and other flying things.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, couldn't Ratchet just fly over the woods and just like look for someone to shoot at him and throw Groovatron down? Maybe pop out a Mr. Zircon, so if Geralt does pop up,
Here's my question.
you know where he's at.
Geralt was raised to be emotionless. Yes.
Yes.
Genetically altered.
Genetically altered, even.
By
okay.
witches.
So this makes my question even more important. If he's genetically altered to be emotionless, could you make the argument that he would not be affected by the Groovatron?
Oh.
But is dancing necessarily emotional?
Yes. Otherwise, it's not dancing, Daniel.
To be fair, I've only danced like once or twice in my life, and you were there for both occasions.
I was. Good times.
I was there for at least one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you were.
Well, also, does Geralt's not Ard's heir, Ken, whatever the shield one is, I think that blocks against magic attacks.
Yep.
So would that defend against the effects of a Groovatron? At least for a
Is the
tiny bit.
Groovatron
think
a
so.
weapon or magic or both?
Well, it doesn't affect Ratchet.
That's true.
So I don't know if it has something to
yeah.
do with like frequency, maybe, of the music, of the groovy
Science.
tunes.
You have weird
Science.
earplugs.
It's mind control via science. Forces your body to move.
They had to create a dancing animation for everything in the game. That's why they
And I
wanted there
still
to be a
can't
trophy
find
for
everyone.
it.
Yeah,
They're still hiding.
I know. Who have I not seen dancing?
You know what? No, Geralt wins.
Forget
I pivot on
okay,
this.
again, I'm going to bring this up. If Geralt is in Ratchet and Clank's world, who wins? And vice versa. If Ratchet and Clank's in Geralt's world, who wins?
I think Geralt loses in Ratchet and Clank's world because he's not suited for space.
True. But I also think Ratchet and Clank lose in Geralt's world because there isn't anything he hasn't faced before. And even though Ratchet and Clank are something he's never faced before, he could still do research and all this stuff. And I think
That's the thing is that was the big argument last time for Geralt was, oh, he does his research. He's always prepared. He's prepared even when he's not prepared. So it's like he would, and we agreed that he would know that he was going to fight Ratchet and Clank. So he'd be specifically prepared and tailored for Ratchet and Clank. And so you could even make the argument that if that was the case, he could curate a potion that is anti-Groovatron. He could curate all sorts of stuff like that, right?
That seems
I also
reasonable.
I like how we're talking about how like Ratchet and Clank's number one power is the Groovatron. That's just not true at all.
Yes, it is. It is important in every fight.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's true, actually. The big
If they
boss
want the
battles,
trophy, it's important.
I always threw a Groovatron at them so that they'd be like,
Yeah, that's the only way I can win the boss fight at the end is if I
Same.
just constant Groovatrons.
just
Yeah.
keep Groovatroning them. Man, this is hard.
Also the pixelizer.
I really don't know. So
I think I've got to vote.
I just really think that there's no chance in heck Geralt wins in Ratchet and Clank's any of Ratchet and Clank's world, and I do think there is sort of a chance that Ratchet and Clank wins in Geralt's world because Ratchet and Clank, just like in the new one, Rift Apart, which we haven't played yet because it's not out. They're going to be used to going to different places and being out of their element.
Can we also just re-acknowledge the fact that a main point of Ratchet and Clank was that they're dumb and nobody's addressed that in this fight?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point. They are pretty dumb, and
And
Geralt's super
they're
not
going
dumb.
specifically up against something
And
someone
who's
with
super
high
smart.
intelligence. Yeah,
Very high intelligence.
And Geralt, while he doesn't travel to different dimensions as much as Ratchet and Clank, he still does
Yeah,
go to different
yeah.
dimensions.
That's a good point.
There
Shoot.
is some lines when, like, Yen pulls him through a portal and stuff. He hates it, and he always gets a little queasy when he goes through a portal.
That's
but
true.
it's
Don't we
not
all?
always a portal that gets him to a different dimension. It's just...
I
I would
my
say
vote.
Ratchet and
Yeah.
Clank would probably throw up less than Geralt would.
That's a good
but
point. Less throw.
I don't think that...
Knock out
Necessarily
by
means
by
anything.
throw up.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Is everyone else ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jordan, you ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Just don't go with the group. Go with your gut.
Yes.
All right.
All in favor of Geralt?
Unanimous again.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow,
I
I
was
did
not
not see that
expecting
coming. I thought I was going to be in the minority there.
I kind of did too for.
I just think that Geralt is a grown man and Ratchet and Clank are kids. And all they face is kids or whiny kids who are bigger than them. And so I just feel like Geralt would win.
That's true.
Yeah. He'd be too prepared, man.
Ratchet and Clank would like make a mistake, and
And Geralt would
capitalize on it so hard.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Jinx, man. Jinx.
Wow.
Have I won your friendship back?
No.
You're like, no.
Micah, do you want to introduce the next one?
I would love to. The next one is the underdog, the under hedgehog, number 14, Sonic, against the man or woman of many different names. You actually get to pick the Dragonborn. Yeah, you get to pick their name, you get to pick their style of play, you get to pick all that good stuff.
You get to pick their race, which we talked about a little bit last time. But Jordan,
True.
you're the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
Do you? Is there a specific race you think would be best equipped?
Originally for the Star Fox fight, I had it in my head. I've been reading a lot of like the D&D books, so I thought races in Skyrim had weaknesses. They don't, so I had that wrong. But in this fight, it is important because Wood Elves, every race has a racial ability that you can use once per day. Wood Elves have Command Animal, which is an area effect. For 60 seconds, all animals in the surrounding area become your allies. And Sonic's a hedgehog. So,
Wow.
so make Sonic stop and shoot him with an arrow because Wood Elves are naturally good with
Oh
bows.
my gosh. Jordan.
There's also a shout that does this, and if you're worried about Sonic running too fast past
Holy
the Dragonborn, there's a
smokes.
shout that slows down time.
Yeah.
So I think the Dragonborn could pull it off.
Counterpoint.
Wow.
So, Sonic takes 2 hits.
Yep.
If you use the spell, we're talking just strictly in Skyrim, and you attack one of your allies, does that break the spell?
Command animals, I don't think so. Definitely the dragon shout that also calls all animals towards you and are friendly towards you within a radius. Those don't. That's a really great thing for hunting.
Yeah, it's true. I've actually done the shout where you make all the animals your allies and then like started hacking at a wolf to see what would happen, and he was just like so it's
really
I don't
sad.
think it is. Yeah. And I mean, ultimately, even if it would, then the Dragonborn would get 1 hit on Sonic to make him lose his rings and then call the shout. Of course, he would probably already have picked up rings because in 0.5 seconds, he's dollar billing.
Yeah.
He's going for it.
Did anyone look up how long it takes to cast a shout?
Yeah, it's about a second,
I didn't.
second and a half. And then your cooldown, it depends on your cooldown for you to be able to use another shout. I mean, you can still fight and do other magic stuff, but ultimately it comes down to Sonic's speed. Is there something that can thwart Sonic's speed? And with Noctis, there wasn't really. Noctis can't stop time.
So if you sequence it by controlling all animals and then using your shout that slows time, that might be enough for you to be able to get 2 hits off. Maybe.
Is there a level cap or anything? Is it like
For the command animals, it's once per day.
but
That's
any level
Any
animal?
animals. You can be level 1 and run up to the giants and summon all the mammoths around you to fight for you.
So you're talking that the Dragonborn can use this one time, and that's
One time.
it.
Yeah.
One time.
It's real hit or miss, but like if
And it's
you're
a range too, right?
it's an area of effect, so it doesn't matter if Sonic's behind him. He
But
can,
like it does it have like a limit to the range? Like, does it only go for like 60 feet? Like, or does it call every animal in Skyrim to you?
It doesn't call every animal, but it doesn't give a specified feet. It just says the surrounding area.
Because then the other question could be if
He could miss
at
with
Sonic's
it.
at Sonic's speed, could Sonic technically dodge it, so to speak, where he can outrun the actual shout?
Dang.
And then it's wasted, and then I don't know. I kind of still think it would be Sonic. And here's one other thing that I was thinking about just in preparation for the last fight, just in case you weren't fully swayed. But now I'll pull it out here. There's also, we never even touched on any of the power-ups that Sonic can pick up, like shields or the magnetic thing that can pull rings back to you without you having to even go to them. And obviously the speed boost shoes or whatever, like there's all those other power-ups. So like, what if Sonic is like, if he's in his prime, like you can carry multiple of those power-ups all at the same time. So he could be coming in with the shield and ring magnet or whatever else. Like, we never really addressed that.
Man.
I'm trying to find
Silence.
the time shout. Slow time. What does this say?
I mean, there are plenty of other abilities that the Dragonborn has besides the control animals and the slow time shout. If we're talking prime, I mean, Mikey, you probably know more than this about this. How many shouts are there? There's probably like 20 or 30, right?
40.
Wow.
45. And they all have 3 different words. Yeah.
But again,
So it's a lot.
I guess you could only shout once for a while.
It's true. You can't
So
just
you'd have to
endlessly
pick.
shout. Yep, you would. Okay. But you can call a storm, and and if you do all 3 words, the storm happens instantly, and it's like thunder, lightning, and massive rain. Does that make Sonic slip? I don't know. I'm just trying to guess stuff here.
Here's
I
the
mean, it
problem.
might-
The
Go ahead,
3-word shout for slow time. It slows time down to 90% for 16 seconds. That's still 206 feet per quarter second. So
So Sonic is still
Unless-
screaming by.
unless you're like super good with a bow,
Yeah.
and you get that sneak attack damage, I don't know. Like,
Tyler, you look so distraught over this right now.
Well, it's because on the one hand, I want Sonic to take out one of Micah's favorite characters because I'm so mad about Sonic winning. It's like, if Sonic's going to win, then yeah, he's going to take the Dragonborn out. You better believe it. But at the same time, this is really hard. I can't decide who would win because the Dragonborn has enough powers to make it a very, very good fight.
mhm.
But at the same time, like, if Sonic can dodge the Dragonborn, who's next? I'm just trying to figure out, like, there's so many weapons and powers to the Dragonborn's arsenal.
What's Sonic's weakness?
Spikes.
Spike strip.
I mean, maybe when he's sleeping.
So you
Is
play
his
as a
weakness?
Khajiit because
I
you
mean,
have claws. Game over.
He's definitely like cocky and like thinks he's all that. Like I don't know, like his arrogance I would say would probably be a weakness. Like he'd probably come into it being like, there's no way, like I'm gonna outrun everything. And the second he gets overconfident and makes a single mistake, I think it's probably over for him. But I don't know, that's a big gamble.
Here's the other thing.
This is hard.
Imperials, their just natural unique race effect is they pick up more gold than usual. So if they manage to get a hit on Sonic, could they steal his rings before he could pick them up?
No, because he's too fast. We already talked about that.
But you get the gold naturally.
Is the
It's a dumb point,
Dragonborn
I know, but like,
is the Dragonborn a vampire lord at this point, or a werewolf, or
I mean,
Make your points for both.
werewolves big scary and vampire lord big also scary, but has wings and no shirt.
I was going to say another thing is that Sonic can't fly, hence why Tails is always with him in a lot of the games. Like Tails
Good point.
takes him places where he can't reach. So if you're as a Dragonborn in an advantageous spot where Sonic can't reach you, like
The Dragonborn also can't fly, though, unless there's a dragon around, and that, I'm guessing, isn't the case in this fight.
unless they can summon, because summons are allowed. Can they summon a dragon?
Isn't
No,
there a
but they
shout
can
that calls a
summon...
dragon?
Yeah, but it... Right, but it doesn't call like a... it calls like a dragon so that you can fast travel, not like a dragon to fight for you.
I've never
Which would
used
be
it.
awesome, by the way.
That would be cool.
But they can also summon like ancient Daedric demons to come and fight for them that have like unstoppable armor.
Do you have does the Dragonborn have the Wabbajack?
Could just turn him into a goat.
Yeah.
That's true. The Wabbajack, man. I didn't think about that one. Dang. The Wabbajack.
See, but with any of those things, you still have to get Sonic, and that's the problem, is you can't catch him.
Ultimately, what I think is if Sonic makes a mistake, Dragonborn hits him one time to get his rings, and I think he's so hurt from that one time he hits him again. So ultimately,
No way.
yeah, I think. Okay, let me just finish my thought.
Sorry.
I think Sonic would, if he gets hit once, is done. Like done. The Dragonborn would just win. But I think that Sonic could get like 1 billion hits on the Dragonborn before the Dragonborn hits Sonic. Can the Dragonborn take that? I think so. But so it's still kind of a toss-up. I still just, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I don't know if I fully agree that if the Dragonborn gets one hit on Sonic, he's fully done. Like, Noctis is pretty powerful, and if Noctis has to take 2 hits,
Everyone has
like
to take 2
everyone
hits,
has to take 2 hits. Like that was such a major point
Right.
of how he beat Noctis. So even if like, let's play it out, even if he gets 1 hit, Sonic isn't able to pick up another ring, but he still in that time is able to at least get up to speed again because of all the math that Jordan shared. I don't remember all of it.
Oh, I have
Math,
it.
that's math.
Yeah.
Math, not meth. Math.
Math. Did I say meth?
No.
Yikes. That's good. But even still, like, let's say Sonic is able to get like 1,000 hits on the Dragonborn, and then Sonic gets hit once, and then he's able to get 1,000 more, like, before he gets hit again, statistically, which is not even a real statistic. I'm just making it up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm only speaking from personal experience. When I'm playing Sonic and I'm going super fast, my chances of hurting myself go up drastically when I'm playing as Sonic. And I think the reason why, from just an outside game developer point of view, that's not my point of view. Anyway, I think the reason why they made it so that Sonic loses all of his rings but is still alive is because he's clumsy. He's fast, but he runs into things a lot. And they make it easy for you to get your rings back because they don't want it to be impossible to play. But I think it's very easy from the only Sonic game that I've played, when the faster you go, the more likely you are to run headfirst into a knife.
Is there a teleportation thing at all in Skyrim?
I mean, yeah, there's a, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a quick run type thing.
Whirlwind sprint.
Whirlwind sprint.
Yeah,
shout.
whirlwind sprint,
Yes.
where if you have all 3 words and there's like a peak of mountains and you're close enough, it'll whirl you across. So like you're not gonna fall, you'll go straight across. Yeah, all 3 words of that put you pretty far. It's not nearly as fast as Sonic, but it's fast.
I think if they were in a flat, open plain with no rocks, no trees, no nothing, then I think Sonic would have a very, very easy time just navigating around and stuff. But I think if there's any type of, like, thing there. anywhere-
Foliage.
Foliage. I think Sonic wouldn't be able to just run full speed wherever he wanted to go in all 360 degrees.
So then we think about bringing the Dragonborn into Sonic's world or bringing Sonic into the Dragonborn's world, and in both places there's trees and rocks and things to run into.
Yeah, but even that, I don't think that's fully true. I think there's truth to what you're saying. I think he is clumsy for how fast he is, but we're still doing doing Sonic at
But
their prime.
Sonic in his prime is not one of us playing as Sonic.
Right, and Sonic at his prime is, I would still consider him with the Chaos Emeralds as Super Sonic, where like he can also fly and he glows gold and he can survive in space. Like, so I don't know if foliage is enough to is enough to make him lose against.
Have you ever been running and
Dragonborn.
stubbed your toe on a rock?
Yeah.
I have, but I'm
For
not
real.
Sonic.
Well, then you know how fast you would be going if you were Sonic. That would hurt that much
Crazy
more.
thing, actually, the other day, I was walking through my house and I stubbed my toe on my coffee table, and just like that, my ring came off. Just like that. But I got it
Legit,
back
did-
really
How
fast.
fast were you able to get it back?
I almost
Did you stub your
passed
toe
out.
again? If you stubbed your toe
that-
again, you would have been dead.
That took an embarrassing amount of time for me to understand what the heck was going on.
He lost his ring, man. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm ready to vote. I feel pretty confident in what I think.
I think I do too. Well, let's see where the vote lands, and then we'll talk more if we have to.
Oh man,
All right.
this is a hard one.
Why is Sonic involved in all these like difficult ones?
That's how I felt all weekend. Just constantly going over Sonic speed.
Okay, I'm ready, but I'm not gonna look.
One more. Wait. One more thing.
Oh.
One more thing. The Dragonborn can essentially, no matter how many hits he's taken, if he's still breathing, can basically freeze time and eat a bunch of cheese or whatever. He can eat or drink instantly, as much as he needs to.
Are you talking about like the pause function? Like, if you, are you saying like you can pause the game by pulling up your inventory?
To eat
Yes.
your food.
But
yeah.
it's to do the act of eating, and you can eat as much as you want and drink as much as you want.
It does
And
say
there's
eat
usually some
cheese.
elder
There's
cheese
potions.
wheels in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand the concept. It's interesting.
There's also potions. Okay.
So it's only a defensive thing. This is basically what you're saying.
No, there's
Like he can stop time by hitting pause.
yes. No, I'm not
and-
saying
and
it's an
Sonic
ability.
stops, and it's only for him for Dragonborn to eat.
Equip
And then
spells,
when he
yeah.
unpauses, everything resumes normally. So it's
For-
not like he can pause and stop time.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Forget I said pause. Just pretend I said he can, if he thinks about it and he has the food on him, he can instantly ingest it.
Can you imagine you're in a fight to the death with Sonic? You're like, man, I'm hungry. What?
Just cheese wheels.
Cheese wheels him. Yep.
Cheese wheels in one bite. That's a power if I ever heard of one.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Yep.
All in favor for Sonic, raise your hand. All in favor for Dragonborn, raise your hand.
Oh.
All right.
3-2. The Dragonborns have it.
I still didn't hear an argument where Sonic. But the vote,
think-
the vote stands.
I think the ring thing goes out the window because of the food thing. In my eyes, that's what swayed. I was going to vote for Sonic until I thought about that.
But like even that, like the food will run out, but the rings don't necessarily. So long as you can get another one, so long as Sonic can get another one. But
I
the
mean,
food
you can
doesn't
hold
just
a
replenish.
lot of food.
Okay, but like again, it's not.
Over-encumbered.
It's not.
Now you're slow
It's
and
not
Sonic is
indefinite.
fast.
Whatever. The vote is in. It's done.
The thing that it was for me was the one that Jordan said once per day you can call animals to be your ally. I think that still holds up for me.
Yeah. And like
Even though Sonic could
if you do
outrun
it,
the
if you do it
It wouldn't matter. He wouldn't try to even attack him. So then he would win, would he not?
If you get it off, Sonic just stops in his tracks and just waits for you to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the animals don't do anything.
I'm not
They just
saying
stand around.
I'm not saying out of 10 times the Dragonborn wins every time, because Sonic could definitely get around it, but I still think
I'm on board with the vote. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. It was a close one for me too. I couldn't decide. The initial arguments for Dragonborn were strong. I think the shout is a good one. Cuz there's nothing that's stopping the Dragonborn from doing that shout aside from Sonic being fast, I guess. Oh, because he would get out of the radius, that's right.
But the goal is for Sonic to beat the Dragonborn, so why would he try to leave the radius anyway? We've done it. It's over. It's over. Sonic is done.
He's dead.
murdered.
No.
Took an arrow
Well,
to the
okay,
knee.
yeah.
It's
Can't
like
run
that-
anymore.
There's
Used to
a
be an
there's an
adventurer
account
like you.
there's an account on Twitter called Disneyland, and they'll tweet the stupidest things. Like randomly they'll be like, Goofy has died, and it'll look like an official tweet from Disneyland. So funny. Next one,
It's not funny.
Link versus Cole McGrath. I don't know much about Link.
Here's one thing I'll say up front about Link is in Ocarina of Time, he has the Master Sword, which can return magic spells and things by hitting them. So it is a magically imbued, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, a magically imbued sword that can withstand and hold up to high levels of energy and magic. And 2, he also carries a mirror shield, which deflects things as well. So
Does-
he
does
does
he-
have that.
Does he have access to a squirt bottle? Because that would also do the trick.
That's
No.
a good point.
He has a water tunic, so he can breathe underwater. So he could just be in a lake and not have to come out of the lake. But it would all depend on like if there's a large enough body of water near that he could just.
For me, it comes down to like the wide array of different abilities that Link can at any point possess or get better at, whereas Cole McGrath is kind of a one lane type deal. I think that's a big deal.
What does Cole McGrath do again?
He's from the
Infamous.
Infamous games. He's the electric guy, electric powers. He can fly electrically and shoot electric things.
He can create tornadoes, electric tornadoes, and
That's
fall down.
true. That power is so legit. Was that in the second one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so cool.
He also has in the second one, he has that thing that he fights with, so he doesn't have to shoot lightning at Link to get close to him. But
Right.
Link
Link
has
is
a bow
pretty
and arrow.
slow.
It's true, he isn't.
Yeah,
that
Link is
fast.
pretty slow. But he does have his like area clearing spinny sword thing that if he gets too close, he could just be like back up.
He's got to
So let
charge
me-
it though.
I was going to say, let me take the setting approach that Mike has been taking. If Cole McGrath is in Link's setting, he loses hands down. He runs out of electricity immediately, and he can't find it in very many places at all. And then, but if it's flip-flopped, then it's a better fight. But I don't think that Link automatically loses because
That's a
he's
good
in a
point.
city. So
Yeah.
the one limitation that Cole McGrath has is that he has to find his ammunition always, whereas
That's
Link
true.
always has his sword, if nothing else. So if he can even just get Cole McGrath for 1 second without his lightning and catch Cole McGrath, who doesn't have any specific speed advantage aside from being able to maybe glide. And he can slide on rails.
Yeah.
If
That's
they
only
if they have
rails and-
electricity in them, because there's that part where the power gets shut off and you can't grind on the rails.
True.
Jordan?
I don't know. I really don't know a lot about either of these characters. The mirror shield is like really compelling for Link's case, because so does that just repel attacks?
It repels energy attacks,
Energy attacks?
like specifically energy
Like
things.
lightning?
Yeah. But it doesn't like, I don't know. It might not work perfectly because I don't know if it doesn't necessarily like direct it
It's not like
at
an
the
aimed
shield. It's
back.
not a
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and I think in terms of defense against the lightning, the sword itself would probably be a better defense because it's metal, so it would act as a rod while also being able to withstand it.
I think even at a distance, even in a city, Link could probably hit him a few times with a bow and arrow too.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be able to kill him right away with it, but definitely if Cole was in Hyrule, I think he would be able to kill him before he even got to him. Link
I
would be
just
able
had
to
a-
kill Cole before he got to him.
I just had a thought. Somebody asked if Link can like has a squirt gun, but Link does have ice arrows, which is water. So if he freezes Cole McGrath and then it melts, then he's wet.
The ice arrow would go into him, and then Cole's body temperature would heat the ice, and the ice would melt, and then he would get shocked from the inside.
I'm ready to vote.
Me too.
Yep.
All in favor of Cole? All in favor of Link?
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
That
for
surprised
Link.
me. I think going into this one, I thought I was going to say Cole,
Same.
but after talking about it, I think there is a massive limitation to the fact that Cole McGrath has to have electricity at his disposal. He doesn't just have electric powers. He has to go get charged.
We now are at our Elite Eight.
These are
We
all
have-
really cool matchups.
Yes. Tyler, will you tell us who's still around?
Well, if you take a look at the bracket here, we've got... Hang on a second. So we're in the next round, right?
Yep.
So I'm going from the top. You don't have to show me. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got Kratos versus... Are we going to go to this one? Are we doing it now, or you want me to name all of them?
Name them all.
Name 'em
Who's
all. Okay.
left? The last 8.
Okay, we've got Kratos. We've got Jack and Daxter. We've got Doomslayer. And we've got Sora. On the other side of the bracket, we have Samus. We have Geralt. We have the Dragonborn. We have... Not Sonic. We have Link. And we have...
That's it.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's it.
Not Sonic. Sorry.
And not
everyone.
Sonic.
Wow.
Dang.
Should we start on the East this time?
Sure.
I think we should. They deserve a little bit of attention.
You guys want to go
First-
just like backwards and do Link versus the Dragonborn?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
Ranked number 22nd, we have Link, the little short guy, versus number 3, the Dragonborn, the normal-sized guy.
I think the Dragonborn has everything Link has and more.
I think he has everything Link has. He's older and more powerful. It's kind of unfortunate, really. I think Cole McGrath would be a better fight against the Dragonborn, personally. But Link beat Cole McGrath, so...
That's so cool that I ended up like that.
Dude.
The tournament fatigue has set in, I believe.
Probably because
Now,
we don't
'cause
have any
all these-
money riding on this.
Well, and all these people are. That says you. I'm just kidding. All these people are people we've talked about to death. I feel like these last rounds are. I feel like these last rounds are going to be quick because we know a lot about these characters. We've talked them to death.
It's true.
So
And that's
who
fine.
we? So we're at Link
Link versus the Dragonborn. I know who I'm voting for.
I do too. I think hands down because of our last argument.
I think Sonic beats Link. Also, and I think Cole McGrath versus the Dragonborn is a lot harder, but I just think there's almost no way that Link beats the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on
Man.
board. Are we ready to vote, or do we need more arguments?
Jordan, Daniel, anything to say? Anything to add?
I don't think so. I'm just like looking at this bracket, and I feel like I'm just sad.
You're sad that you think it's going to be Kratos versus the Dragonborn?
No, no.
You're
That part
sad
doesn't
that
necessarily bother me. I'm sad that
Sonic and
I
Master
was
Chief
so
are dead?
No, sad that I was so wrong on so many times.
Oh, man. Okay, all in favor of Link winning, raise your hand. Daniel, wow. And all in
I'm
favor
voting
of
for Link out of
Spite.
out of respect to the fact that I like him a lot.
That's fair. All
He
vote.
deserves at least one vote in this.
That's a good point. If you count if all of our votes count for like 2 battles out of 10, I think maybe Link could win 2 out of 10 of the Dragonborn. Maybe.
Yep.
All in
It's a good
favor.
perspective.
All in favor of the Dragonborn winning. That's 4.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Jordan, would you announce our next fight?
Next fight, we have Geralt versus Samus.
That's
Samus.
it, man.
That is it.
Number 31 versus number 10.
This is a big one. One of the things that one of the big things that Samus has that made us choose Samus over Master Chief was the fact that she could literally freeze entire planets. So
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But like, would that power suit her well against Geralt? Like, we're assuming then at that point that she'd have to either freeze the entire planet that she's currently on, thus freezing Geralt, or get far enough away to freeze the planet. Or are you assuming that she just directs all of her freezing capability to Geralt, period, and he just him is affected? Like, what's the point in that argument?
the point in my argument is that's a lot of power. And let's just say that they're on a planet and Geralt is on that planet. They're both on the planet. She could just zoom out into space and maybe freeze it. We also don't know what the cost of using an ability that insane is. If she froze the entire planet, would Geralt die?
What if he drank like 5,000 ice-resistant potions?
That's a fair point. That's a thing, right?
I do not think so.
You could probably make one.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
It's a nice hot cup of tea.
No.
Yeah, there's
No, potions and stuff like that aren't a huge deal in those games for Geralt. They give him a little bit of a leg up, but they don't stop him from dying from a frozen planet, I would say.
yeah, his potions are more to like heighten his senses or to he'll drink something toxic so when the monster bites him, the monster will be poisoned. And he can withstand the toxin better than the monster can or stuff like that. It's not quite on the Elder Scrolls level where it's super strength or
It's not like plus 50% cold
No.
damage resistance.
no.
I feel like the point of knowing the toll that the move takes on Samus is important, because even just thinking about her, like her charge cannon blast or whatever, like she has to take a minute to charge that. So I imagine something bigger like freezing the sun would also be like a major task. It's not just like, it's not a simple move that you can just do, you know, like it's a major event. So
I can get behind that. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know if she can pull that off before Geralt figures out a way to beat her.
I don't see how Geralt gets past her armor. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
He does
a
have
big
mind
thing for
control.
But it
All he has
only
to do is go like
works-
this, and then she'll be like,
But-
that was her helmet.
Can he do mind control on literally anybody? Or do they have to be like weak-minded like in Star Wars?
I'm pretty sure they have to be weak-minded, don't they? Even if you level it up all the way, I'm pretty sure you still can't. I mean, you can do it so that more people are affected, but I don't think it's more powerful, is it?
Well, I know, like, narratively, any time that it comes up with the option to use it, and you're able, like, it's strong enough, it works. But I haven't used it a lot in combat, so I don't know the effects. I know when he's talking to people, which I guess he wouldn't just be like chatting with Samus, but he's able to.
What are your weekend plans?
He can persuade them.
Don't mind me. I'm not doing anything.
And he has those that the purple one that slows people. He casts it on them and it slows them. I don't know.
I think Samus is just way too powerful. I don't see it. The mind reading thing is something that kind of got me. If he can actually get control of her mind, then I think he's got her. But Samus is also supposed to be pretty intense, so I think she'd be able to fight that off pretty well. I think Samus in Geralt's world would beat Geralt. I think Geralt in Samus's world, same story. I think Samus is just too powerful for Geralt. He could be as prepared as possible. See, and I thought maybe Sonic will get there. Maybe Sonic will get there, and it'll be Sonic and Geralt at one point. And I had a whole idea of how that fight would go down. But I don't think Geralt can beat Samus. I just don't think he can.
I think ultimately what makes Geralt a cool character and fun to play is that he's mortal, right? He's not like out of reach of empathizing with. Like it's hard for him. It's hard. Anyway, he's not like unstoppable. He's not like the most powerful being in on the planet. He's like just a Witcher who just so happens to be like a really good, a good Witcher, but like a lot of people hate him. He can't be in two places at once. He can't fly. He can't, he's just like a fun character to play as. And yeah, and so I just think that because of that kind of thing, he's a cool character, but I think Samus is much more powerful no matter where they fight. So I would agree with Tyler.
And the mind control thing is moot. I just read up on it, and it is way more effective on weak-minded people. So
there you go.
Well, I'm ready to vote.
All in favor of Samus beating Geralt in a landslide. That's all 5.
Unanimous.
Dang.
This is proof that we're not just fighting for people that we like. Because I like Geralt's character a lot more than Samus's, but I also know a lot more about Geralt's character than I do about Samus. But I just think it's obvious that he would definitely lose. Oh, man. Okay. Next we have, we have number 29 Doomslayer versus number 21 Sora in the West. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
This is a good fight right here. This is a good fight. I think this fight is a lot more even than the next one, to be honest.
Does in Kingdom Hearts, are there any enemies with like guns?
Yes.
Like, does Sora fight guns?
Yes.
And what is that experience like? Like, are guns not a big deal and they're pretty easy to deal with? Or is it a bigger challenge than...
It's challenging. Like
Yep.
in Pirates of the Caribbean, it's challenging. The people with the guns are really challenging.
Yep.
There's also an Organization 13 member whose main weapon is basically dual pistols,
Yep.
and that's challenging. Yeah, I would say it's challenging. Anytime he has to fight somebody who has anything resembling a gun, it can be challenging. That being said, I have the point, y'all. At the very end of Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora and Riku are surrounded by laser bullets. They're in a dome of laser bullets, thousands of them
From every
and
direction coming down always.
all over, and they together block every single bullet, every single one with
Every
their
one.
keyblades. So challenging because that's the final boss, but they can handle it. Sora can handle it.
Right, and I don't think Doomslayer is going to shoot out as many laser bullets as what you just described.
What if Sora wins the whole thing?
Dude,
Oh my gosh.
So sorry, Dan, say that again.
It was a small point. All I was saying is I don't think Doomslayer can muster up the amount of firepower of the dome that you just described.
And then some to actually hit him.
Right. Well, because my first thought was like, well, yeah, but that's Sora and a friend. But like,
Yeah.
if you cut that in half and Sora has to deal with half of that, I still don't think Doomslayer can muster up half of that firepower.
And in Remind
you just
DLC, and I just want to say, in the Remind DLC, you fight the same kind of guy with the same dome, and he's by himself.
So it doesn't matter. Sora has the ability to take on things that are outrageously more powerful than he is,
Yes.
and win
Yes.
with his really simple moves. And it looks cool
Yes.
because he's got so much heart.
He's the ultimate underdog.
Yeah.
Almost like Sonic was the ultimate under hedgehog.
Remember when
Quite.
Sonic was awesome?
He's still
He was
awesome.
and he was in this.
Yeah.
We were like, Sonic beat Noctis. He can take on anybody. And then the next round he lost.
I remember that. Dragonborn's not just anybody.
It's fair.
Sora versus Doomslayer. Any other thoughts before we vote?
I think in a staring contest, Sora would lose. And that's about it.
Doomslayer is taller.
He is.
That's all I got.
Doomslayer probably. I don't know where I was going with that.
Has
I got nothing.
Doomslayer ever eaten a Paopu fruit?
He's got
Probably
no one
not.
to share it with.
So there you go. He's got no one to fight for. Am I right? Oh, shoot. I'm ready to vote.
This got sad.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All votes for Doomslayer meeting his doom. In other words, him losing. Raise your hand. There you go.
Unanimous.
Sora wins. I was just trying to make that as difficult for you to understand what was happening as possible.
Who believes that Sora will not lose in against a fight against Doomslayer?
Last matchup.
Yeah, go ahead, Keelan.
Last matchup of the Elite Eight is Kratos versus Jack and Daxter. But
I'm ready to
just
vote.
Jack. So, here's what I'm going to say about Jack and his dark abilities. Him being able to channel Dark Eco is an anomaly. Dark Eco, usually when it affects someone, it would seriously mess them up. I'm not saying that Kratos wouldn't be one of the few who would be able to absorb it. He probably would, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But not even just Dark Jack, but Jack just has a lot of abilities that I think we should at least bring up before we say Kratos will win, because Kratos is big and angry.
Did we mention though that Kratos is big and angry?
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Like, I think
Who's ready to put it up?
I think Daxter opens his mouth and that makes Kratos big and angry.
What I was going to say is that Jack has an ability when he is in his Dark Jack form, which is when he's at his angriest, called Dark Giant, where he becomes 3 times his size. So he's also big and angry. And he's got projectiles and stuff that can tear down walls and giant concrete structures, and he has that spinny thing, and really it's contingent on how Kratos would react to being touched by Dark Eco, I think is where I'm getting at, and I don't know how that would work. But
You guys seen Sky High?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I think we should watch that. I think it's a great movie.
Kurt Russell.
It made
Mike,
me
are
think.
you have your answer? Is that why?
No, it just made me think of that part where the kid is like, "Wow, your power is so much cooler than mine. All I can do is punch stuff." And the teacher's like, "Yet he'll be the one who's on cereal boxes. What's the justice in that?" And I was just thinking about, like, Jack and Daxter has some really cool powers, yet Kratos is the one who will be on cereal boxes. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah. I'm ready to vote, though.
Okay, so I think Keelan makes some good points. We don't know how Kratos would react to Dark Eco because he's gone into several different mythological pantheons, and he has been hurt by things in the past. Here's the thing. Baldur's thing is mistletoe. What is Kratos' thing? You know?
I think it's
Go
Dark
ahead.
Eco.
You think it's Dark Eco? Oh, it's Dark. Well, then that solves it.
Turns
So-
out,
It's his
same universe
kryptonite.
all along. Yeah.
I'm
That's
trying to
really gonna
remember the end of Jack 3. Keelan, do you remember what happens in the end of Jack 3?
The precursors are Otzels.
You know what? That's true. I forgot about that. In the end of the very first Jack and Daxter, okay, we're talking about how, Jack can channel Dark Eco, Jack can channel Light Eco. That's pretty intense. That's pretty cool. Something that goes away long in the future is Blue Eco, Green Eco, Red Eco, Yellow Eco, and the conglomeration of all of them, White Eco. Not Light Eco, not Dark Eco, White Eco, which is a conglomeration of everything. This one Eco, when it's forged at the very end of Jack and Daxter, they say, don't pick up White Eco. That's dangerous stuff. We've never seen it before. Jack walks up in there, picks that thing up, and he slaps the crap out of the final boss in one hit. Whoopsh! One hit. And, of course, the final boss is no god, but at the same time, it's like White Eco makes it no problem whatsoever. I think Jack in his prime is not him with all of his Dark and Light Eco powers, but it is in fact him when he is channeling White Eco. And I think White Eco has a chance of doing some serious damage on... And I know I'm laughing, I'm kind of smiling, but seriously, I think it could do some serious damage on Kratos. Because, let me take you through it. Blue Eco makes you faster, it makes you jump higher, and it can charge things up. It's kind of like electricity running through your body. Yellow Eco makes you shoot projectiles. Red Eco makes you ultra strong, and green eco heals you. You combine all those things together into white eco, and you've got an ultra powerful projectile, and he can move super fast, and he can heal himself.
To use your words, you said that he would do some damage to Kratos. I don't think doing some damage would be enough. I think Kratos sneezing would do some damage to Jak and Daxter.
I think the fight's better than that. I do. I think that Jak and Daxter would put up a pretty dang good fight. They're way more agile. They can channel all this eco that's like this ultra supernatural power. Like there's all sorts of different ecos that they can channel. And so let me think about this on the Kratos side. Kratos can get into his rage fits, which makes him ultra powerful.
And
Kratos
fast.
Fast, and he has multiple different weapons that he can use that have their own supernatural abilities attached to them, including ice. So he's also got the Blades of Chaos, which is flaming and everything. But Jak and Daxter, they have the eco thing, they have guns, and they're more agile. And Jak is incredibly smart, actually. He's like really good at getting out of really tough situations. If nothing else, it'd be a really, really close fight. I
do think it would be a lot closer than we originally thought. I think
Yeah,
a lot of your arguments
that's
have
fair.
me believing that. But I do still think that what you had said with crypto still holds true. I think after all of that and having watched Kratos go through all the fights that he's gone through, like there's some majorly heavy hitters, and he still will get up and more or less kind of like brush it off. Like he'll get up and he'll keep fighting. And I think his endurance would outlast Jak's endurance with the eco.
Okay, I'll concede, but all of you have to look up the video of the end of Jak and Daxter 1 when he absorbs the white eco, because I'm telling you, it's like the culminating moment of the entire game. And so, like...
Wait, is it the
I
end
just
of
think
1
that
or
I
the
think
end
that-
of 3?
The end of 1.
Okay.
It's more powerful than... It's like, literally, he picks up the eco and, like, freaks out and then hits the ground. He, like... His eyes come up, and you're like, dude, that guy's going to absolutely destroy the entire world. And one hit, dead. So it doesn't look super spectacular aside from what it looks like when he actually picks it up. It looks really spectacular. It looks really cool. I think it would do some serious damage to Kratos, but I'll concede. I get it. It's Kratos. He's a god.
Jak and Daxter have beaten Donkey Kong and Aloy. Just wanted to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
I will
But-
say their progression through this has been crazy. To start against Donkey Kong and to now be fighting the God of War
That's a good
in the
point.
span of only 2 battles.
That's a big deal.
Think about Kirby's progression.
It's fair.
Rest in peace, Kirby.
Oh, man. Okay. All in favor of Kratos beating Jak and Daxter. Raise your hand.
I
get it.
really want Jak to win, but I can't. I don't
Yeah.
see how it would work.
You pulled me
Just
really
because
close.
I don't know how white eco would affect Kratos. And that's just not stupid thing, but that's the really hard thing with characters like Kratos is
Well,
so
nothing
far
that we
nothing
know
can
of
kill him.
can kill him, but can anything knock him out? So I'm wondering if he even has a chance of losing in the future. We'll see.
If he
We'll see.
stabs himself with his dad's sword, probably would knock him out for a little bit.
I don't know.
But are
He
we? But
crawled
we're
right off
not
the
talking
podium.
about. We're not talking about like. We're talking about like who wins the battle, who KOs who. Kratos gets KO'd, doesn't
Does
he?
he? That's what I'm trying to remember. Is does he actually get KO'd?
Baldur wins that first fight, hands down.
But it's not really a KO.
Kratos wins.
No, yeah, Kratos wins. Yeah,
he
because
snaps
he throws
his neck
him
and
down.
throws him off a cliff.
Oh, that's right. Frick, you're right. Holy cow.
Also,
okay,
little
yeah,
side
Kratos
note,
wins.
there's a little Easter egg that Sony Santa Monica put in, where if you can release the camera from Kratos and follow Baldur as he falls down, when he's off screen in the actual game, you can't see this, but if you managed to mod it and follow him down, he's giving Kratos the finger as he falls. So he's still alive, and he like,
Dang.
but you don't know that in the story. It's cool. Anyway,
Crazy. So we have the final four. Oh, just so you know, Tyler voted for Jack and Daxter, and everyone else voted for Kratos. So Kratos moves on. It is now the final four.
Woohoo! 3 more battles, you guys.
Holy
3,
cow. Count them.
Almost
1,
there.
2, 1 after that. Kratos, Sora, Samus, and the Dragonborn. Did you guys think these were going to be our final four?
Kratos versus Sora,
Absolutely
dude.
not.
Oh, this is gonna be impossible. Oh.
These are...
Okay, all right. What was the other side? I was so focused on
Kratos versus Sora is the one that yep, and then the other side is the Dragonborn versus Samus.
Dude.
This is tough.
I think I'll say that's a worthy final four. I'm happy with that.
It really is.
if I would say right now, if you guys don't have predictions for who will win each one and then who will land on top, you should write that down really quick, and then we can briefly go over that once we're through with the episode. But right now, I think I have a pretty good idea of who I think would win.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to write it down.
I have
I'll
no
write one down.
clue.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna write it on my notes on my phone.
All right.
Oh my goodness. You guys, these are gonna be insane battles.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I got mine, but I'm not convinced on it.
I've got mine, but I have my final two, but I don't know who wins. So I think I know who wins these next 2 battles, but I don't know about the finale. That being
All right.
said, are we ready?
Yeah. Let's
do
start on the East Coast again
Okay.
because I can't.
Because you're
handle
not
the
ready
other
for
side.
Kratos versus Sora.
Ranked second to last in the entire bracket is Samus at number 31, going against ranked third in the entire bracket, the Dragonborn. This is a big deal.
Dang. The last time we talked about Samus, we kind of ended with Samus is just too powerful. Samus wins. So I think that we've got now it's not a question of whether or not one's more powerful than the other, because I think they're pretty equally matched in power, if not the Dragonborn even potentially being more powerful than Samus. So the advantage that Samus has, I think, is the fact that she has metal armor that is like high-tech metal armor, probably titanium, much more advanced than any armor that the Dragonborn is going to have available. That being said, the Dragonborn can enchant armor, so there is that.
And can make armor out of the ancient Daedra.
And glass.
Yes.
Well. And dragon bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what Daniel's thinking right now.
Man, this is a struggle. I have never played Skyrim, so the Dragonborn is the most mysterious thing to me. But also, like, I've only played Metroid like when I was like a small child. So both of these characters are probably some of like my least acquainted characters.
Daniel, you need to play Skyrim.
I know. Maybe the next one, if they figure out how to make it so that things react when you hit them. Because I can't.
That's fair.
When you like slash something and they just stand there and they slash you
I
back.
just want
and
you
you're
all to
like, I just
know.
hit you.
I just want you all to know that Skyrim is 10 years old.
Wow.
And we're
It's an old
probably
game.
about 10 years away from the next one.
Which
Hey.
is ridiculous, man. I'm ready for
Ow.
the next one. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, all that to say, I honestly, my gut goes towards Samus because, like, the technology and her, like, her intellect of technology and situations, I think is a huge advantage, and that's gonna make the difference between two extremely powerful characters, and that's my gut reaction.
At this point, we also have to take into account who they've bested. And Samus beat Master Chief.
That's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
So I don't know. On the one hand, I think anything that Samus throws at the Dragonborn has the capability to dodge or to counterattack in some way.
But the Dragonborn hasn't faced guns before. Has he?
I mean, Star Fox has guns, and the Dragonborn defeated Star Fox.
Yeah,
but
but
Star
you-
Fox is also
A fox.
like one like right
Wimpy.
up there with like Kirby in terms of wimpy.
I
Command
just think
animals.
like firepower, like Samus has, Dragonborn's never faced before in any
That's
game
true.
we've seen or
Correct.
this bracket.
Correct.
That's true.
I think that's a big deal. And I think obviously in a medieval sort of setting where there's mythological creatures and saber-toothed tigers and mammoths and dragons and are there mer people? Maybe in a different realm.
Argonians.
I just think that the Dragonborn obviously is the number one, right? It's just obvious. But there's no guns. There's arrows. That's different. A lot different. I even think like Doomslayer or Jack and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank would be challenging for the Dragonborn just because I'm not saying they'd win, but I'm saying like it would be challenging because they can shoot weapons, guns.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I think that the Dragonborn would have the ability to dodge them to a certain extent, but not for very long. Like, it wouldn't take very long. If you had enough ammunition, I think that the Dragonborn is going to go down, or at least going to get seriously injured.
And I think the Dragonborn's path to the Final Four was pretty easy. Star Fox, Sonic was by far the hardest one. And Sonic can't shoot weapons. Doesn't use
Just
weapons
gotta
at
run
all.
into you.
Just runs. That's it. And that was the hardest the Dragonborn's fought so far. I think Samus is harder for the Dragonborn than Kratos would be. Because I just think that this is something the Dragonborn's never fought before. Which is so fun. I'm so glad we're doing May Madness because this is something that would never happen in a video game.
Samus versus the Dragonborn. Could you
Oh,
imagine?
man.
Could you imagine if
cross-platform.
Samus shows up in Skyrim? I mean, I think that alone, just the thought of that, I'm like, yeah, I think Samus would destroy. Forget the dragons. Samus just lays it out.
And I think
I don't
that's another argument in and of itself is that Samus has so much more experience with a diverse enemy base. Like in Skyrim, the Dragonborn is still pretty limited with the type of enemies that he or she will face.
Yeah, although mythological and crazy, you're right. They're not.
Yeah.
They're all in that sort of medieval realm. There's no alien creatures or things from another planet with ships or anything. It's all that era.
Right.
Man. Jordan, what do you think?
I think that, yeah, Samus definitely has the range advantage. And unless I can't think of a way where the Dragonborn can close the distance, that's the only way the Dragonborn really stands a chance, right? Is to close the distance and make it a hand-to-hand fight.
And the Dragonborn's not very fast.
No.
He just outlasts people.
You have the whirlwind shout, and that's basically it. And I don't
Right.
think that's enough. Like, I think Samus will just mow him down on his way up.
Especially if the Dragonborn used the whirlwind sprint to get up to Samus. That's
Samus
it.
just
That's his shout.
gotta wait
He-
like another minute,
yeah.
20 seconds. Yeah.
That's the Dragonborn's power that they chose to use at that moment or whatever. And that wouldn't do much. I'm
At
ready
the
to
same
vote.
time, Samus is just a human with really good agility and an epically freaking awesome suit. And that's it, right? She's just a human.
She's
I mean, she's incredibly smart. Like she was not just like any human. She's not like Joe Schmo walking down the street with a suit.
Also, I think we can make a reasonable comparison between her and Iron Man. And Iron Man's really epic.
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
All he is a human in a suit.
That's a very good point. Iron Man would destroy the Dragonborn. I think, personally.
That might seal the deal, honestly.
That's a good point.
I've got my vote, I think.
But an Imperial's racial ability that they can do once per day is to charm nearby people for 30 seconds. I don't think it matters. You still got to be close. And Samus still kills him. But maybe it helps.
Wait. Come here. I have to tell you something.
Wait.
I bet I can punch harder than you. just taunt him in close. Yeah.
Should we
Yeah,
vote?
I'm ready to vote.
All in favor of Samus, raise your hand. It's unanimous for Samus. My goodness. I thought for a second Micah wasn't going to vote for Samus.
Me too.
Okay.
I was
As
in the
we-
same boat.
As we start this next section, I'm going to pull a Tyler, and I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I'll be back.
While Daniel goes to the bathroom, there is an actual video of Master Chief versus Samus on the internet.
What happens?
I don't know.
Can you fast forward to the end? That'd be stupid. Don't do that. You got to watch the whole thing.
I'm going to fast forward to the end.
Nice.
Oh man. I think this next one, once we get there, is potentially the best matchup.
Best
See,
matchup
really
for
interesting.
Kratos, that's for sure.
We'll see about that.
Have you guys watched Cobra Kai?
No.
No.
I just started it, like a week ago. Oh man, it's so good. If you guys liked Karate Kid, this is, I would say, a worthy successor. I would say Cobra Kai is a better revival of a series than the Star Wars sequels are.
Wow.
That
says a lot.
I think I am enjoying it as a whole more than I am enjoying the sequel Star Wars movies as a whole.
You know what I think? I think we should
Just-
start talking about Sora and Kratos already.
I just want to tell you all that we chose correctly. Samus would beat Master Chief according to this video as well.
Ooh, okay.
And
You know
that's-
what? I feel
that's
better
from,
about that.
That's from Watch Mojo.
Feels validated. Yeah.
So
I feel,
Welcome to Watch
yeah.
Mojo.
it said at the very end. In the end, Samus's powers are just too much for Master Chief, and I was like, that's what we said.
It sounded like you said Pastor Chief.
I know that's what I heard too. They should,
Too much for Pastor
What's
Chief.
up, Pastor Chief?
Like
how you
how they
doing,
made-
Pastor Chief?
how they made Bible Man instead of Batman. They should make a video game, Pastor Chief,
Damn.
Pastor Chief, yeah.
and they could still call it Halo because of
Oh my gosh. No
Halo
way.
Pastor Chief.
Daniel, we looked up a video while you were gone, and
Uh-huh.
in the video it was Samus versus Master Chief.
And
And guess who
the-
won?
Master Chief?
No,
No.
Samus won.
Dang it. They're wrong. Everyone's wrong.
Everyone's wrong.
I'm the only one who knows.
all right.
I am the Master Commander. Shout out to Olin Rogers. Okay.
The penultimate matchup: Kratos versus Sora.
Unbelievable. How does this matchup exist?
Of all the people, well, that doesn't make any sense. Never mind. That was gonna be dumb. I was gonna say it would make sense because Sora battles people from other dimensions and other worlds, but anyone Sora fights in this bracket would be that. So
Oh, I've got an argument. Sora has beat several gods in the Pantheon. Hercules and Hades.
That's a good point.
So we've got a serious matchup here. I just want to say.
Of all of the people in this, who has more tournament style? What's it called?
Experience?
Experience. Sora. He's been in tons of tournaments
He has.
at the Olympus Coliseum and in the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just take a moment with Tyler's original thing and just also mention that the versions of Hercules and Hades that he fought were Disney versions?
That's good.
So
That's fair.
I get it, but also they're
Well,
not to the same scale that Kratos is.
That's
Kratos
fair.
kills Hercules by taking Hercules' gauntlets and punching his face into the ground, and like just turns into like meatloaf.
That's a bit aggressive for a Disney movie.
And I don't remember how he kills Hades, but it was probably equally, if not more, graphic.
I feel like you have two different, very, very different levels of like intensity with these characters for sure.
And I would say Kratos in his prime is like God of War 3 Kratos, not God of War PS4 Kratos.
Not
He's
old man Kratos.
Not old man Kratos, just because he's got way more weaponry and he's got way more drive to fight. Like, even though he's just a one-dimensional, I'm going to kill everybody, like, he's very set on killing everybody, and he won't let anything get in his way.
And is that the one where he kills Zeus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, freaking Zeus.
yeah.
Zeus.
Sora. So one of the things that Sora does is he takes out all of Organization 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of Organization 13, they each have a unique weapon that they are absolute masters of. We're talking scythes, guns, swords,
Cards.
cards, literally cards. What else? I'm
Guitars.
missing guitars.
Guitars, yeah.
Lightning powers,
Flaming shurikens.
flaming shurikens. I didn't know the
Being
word for
cooked
that.
in an oven.
Being cooked in an oven.
He took out the
books, witchcraft.
The baker.
He's also got a great voice. He can
Sora?
sing. Yeah.
So true.
For the record, Tyler, I think I'm on your side in this. I think Sora would win.
Here's the thing, though, is somebody has to make an argument for how in the world Sora wins, because Kratos over here walks out of every battle. So how does Sora?
But it's not
freaking
about
win?
that. It's not a fight to the death. Kratos isn't going to die.
But he's also never been knocked out. That's what I mean by walking away. He's able to just kind of get up again. You know?
Yeah. And if we're talking about him in his prime, yeah. Oh, this is so hard.
I would say Sora in his. What would Sora in his prime be? Did we say like Kingdom Hearts 2-ish?
Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Form, fully leveled.
Form? Fully leveled?
Would
Fully
we agree
kitted?
with that?
I don't know that. I think we have this argument about when they're in their best form, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best argument. It's rather that they have all of their abilities at their disposal.
Sure.
So, like, it doesn't have to be Sora in final form the whole time, but if he wants to go into final form, he could. But he still has his normal limitations. He can't just, like, go into final form and be in final form for the rest of eternity. He can go into final form if he needs to, but he can't do it forever. So, just like Kratos can't be in Rage forever.
Okay, so then Kratos in Rage versus Sora in Final Form. Who would win?
I would think So the thing about Rage is, yeah, he's faster and he's glowing and stuff, but his attacks are a lot weaker. They're faster, but they're not as strong as like hitting someone with your axe. It's just that you can get a lot more hits and it stuns people a little bit.
Sora's used to taking those kind of hits, actually.
And Sora's final form is a lot quicker, but it's also a lot stronger than all of his normal attacks. And he's flying and can like warp around and stuff.
And has 2 keyblades.
Every time he jumps or when he is gliding, his keyblades are automatically blocking all incoming damage. So,
oh man, it would be really hard to defeat Sora in that way.
Plus, when he's in final form, all of his magic is Super Saiyan.
Yes, that's
So
very true.
He could destroy with a magical combo and then come in for a melee combo. That would be insane. And
Big ol'
then
wombo combo.
I think one of the things that, you know what? I've got one. I've got a potential option. So let's say that Kratos, one of the things that happens in the God of War games is that Kratos, he gets beat up pretty good by Baldur. Baldur puts a good 1-2 on him and hits him pretty hard. And like Baldur will come at him and keep coming at him and keep coming at him, hit him while he's down. And when Kratos is being hit and he's actually getting hard hits on him, he's kind of down for the count. So I'm going to say the...
But is that him in his prime?
Well,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'll let you finish.
I think it is, right? Because, I'm not saying that Sora's going to hit him while he's down. I'm saying Sora's going to get him down and keep him down by having Berserker on and using magic. So he can just keep slicing and dicing until the end of eternity and just keep him down, keep him down, keep him down, keep him down until finally there's got to be a point somewhere where Kratos gets knocked out for the count. That's my argument. That's one potential option.
Berserker is the thing where it takes the final move of your combo out, and so you just are
It's
an
unlimited combo.
Dang. That's... Ouch.
Daniel.
This is tough. I don't know Sora at all compared to you guys, but you're putting up a very compelling argument. What I will say though is that I feel like Tyler, in your example, like I feel like that's when Kratos would go into rage, and he would like bust up, stand up, and then attack. But I'm struggling to know if can Sora take those attacks and that backlash, because the way I see it is Sora would take point and would start the fight and would go into what you just described, and he'd get Kratos down and he would keep him down until Kratos goes into rage, and then Kratos pops up and then lays the beat down on Sora until his rage runs out.
I agree.
And then at that point, what happens next? And that's where I don't know, because I don't know how Sora would respond after that and what kind of condition he would be after Kratos raged beat down.
I think that's so. Okay, goes in with Berserker, just starts beating the crap out of Kratos until he's just had enough, and then he goes into rage mode, blows Sora back. He goes at Sora, starts beating him down, and then Sora goes into final mode and hits him back, and then there's even more damage being dealt to Kratos even after he was down, after his rage form kind of subsides. And one of the bonuses to going into final form is that you get recharged to full health and full magic too, I believe. So I don't know. It's hard. It's a really hard one to make the argument for, but I don't know if there was anybody who could beat Kratos. I would put Sora on the table. But it would take a long freaking time. It doesn't matter who it was.
And all of the gods and the enemies that Kratos fights, for the most part, the vast majority of them are kind of all brutes. Big, burly, slow-ish people. He killed Hermes, who is the messenger god, but I think Hermes is the one that runs fast. But even then, it wasn't like...
But he also fights the Valkyries and defeats all the Valkyries in their imprisoned forms, and they are definitely fast.
That's true.
They are not brute-like. They are quick and agile, and he beats them.
Yeah.
And rips their wings off and releases their spirits.
Yeah.
So he's not incapable against somebody who's fast, or for that matter, who can fly. Like he can definitely handle himself against Sora. I'm not 100% sure if I think he can win against Sora. I don't know.
I think even then, and this might sound dumb, but like the Valkyries and the gods and stuff, they're all grounded in a way. I'm not saying they're realistic, that they can fly and do all the stuff that they're doing, but like in terms of physics and stuff. The people who fly have wings and whatever. Like Sora is just flying, like floating and warping around and defying laws of physics and stuff. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, so I don't know if this is going to make any sense because it doesn't make sense to me. But Sora is like when the Goku guy turns
Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan and like warps around and can do all this crazy stuff. And I don't know where I'm going with that. Lost my train of thought completely.
Okay, so then here's the question, and one of you again is gonna have to answer this because I don't know. Where does Sora's power come from? Like if Kratos is able to strip Sora of his power, does he stand a chance? Like with the Valkyries, he rips the wings off and that releases them, and they stop fighting him. If he eventually gets to a point when he literally like tears it away. So if if Kratos were to be able to get in close and like rip the Keyblade out of Sora's hand, would that stop Sora and his abilities? Like, is it just something in?
No one can hold the Keyblade except Sora. It would just poof back in his hand because he's worthy.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So,
and his friends, it's quote unquote, this is what Sora says, my friends are my power because he fights, because he has something to fight for. There's not really anything Kratos can take away from him.
Even if Kratos did kill all of his friends, Sora would still be fighting to bring them back. Even if he didn't know how, he's so naive, but in a really like...
in a very pure way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And...
I don't know. I think I might be ready to vote.
Jordan,
I was
any
wondering,
last words?
I was just wondering a little bit on like the setting because I haven't made it through God of War very far, but in the fight that takes place outside of Kratos' house when Atreus is hiding in the basement, part of the reason Kratos is able to get back up is because the guy's like walking towards his house and sees two beds in there, and that's what makes him keep fighting. So if Atreus isn't around and Sora can get him down and keep hitting him down, like what's Kratos' big motivation to force him to get back up?
I think we would have to assume that just like Sora has his friends to fight for, Kratos has Atreus to fight for. I think is what we'd have to assume.
That makes it hard.
This is a good one. I'm ready to vote.
Me too.
Me 3.
Okay, all in favor of Kratos, raise your hand.
Wow.
All in favor of Sora, raise your hand. It's unanimous. That's insane.
Unanimous 5
I gotta say,
of 0. Sora wins.
I gotta say, to those of you listening, you have many Kingdom Hearts fans in here, strong Kingdom Hearts fans in here, and I think part of that is why he won, because we have such good knowledge of him and his vast capabilities.
To counter that point,
go ahead.
To counter that point, when we did our top 5 games of all time, Tyler and Keelan, both of your number ones were God of War. Both of yours, not Kingdom Hearts, God of War.
That's true, but I'm thinking in all... That's true. And I think we understand Kratos too. So I think it's a fair fight regardless, but I do think that we know so much about Sora that it's like...
Also,
wow.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Me and Dan have never played Kingdom Hearts, and we still both voted for Sora.
Yeah.
That's correct. And I have played all of the God of War. Well, it's been a while since I played the old ones, but...
So... I would just like to point out that I think if we had hand-selected people to go against each other in the final who were as evenly matched as possible, I think the ones who would be the most evenly matched might be Kratos versus the Dragonborn or Sora versus Samus. And those were 2 possibilities in the final 4. I just wanted to point that out. Because I think Samus versus Kratos, I think Samus would win. I think... if it's Sora versus the Dragonborn, I think Sora would win. It's just, it's hard, man. I think this is a really, really good matchup for the final.
I agree. I think it's a good matchup. I think, like I said, our Final Four was fantastic. So I'm really excited to see I'm really excited to see where this ends up.
If I was a betting man and I knew everything that I knew right now, I would bet all of my money on Sora winning against Samus, is what I'm going to say right now.
I've got my money on it too. I might be wrong, but yeah.
Me too.
Oh, man.
I'm going to need to hear a really strong argument for Samus, to be honest with you, though. Samus has made it a long way, but I think it's because of the matchups that Samus has had.
There's a battle comic Vine thing that is Sora versus Samus, and it's just like it's almost like a Reddit thread, and it's like split 4-4. 4 think Sora, 4 think Samus. They don't really go into a lot of detail though. And there's another form I just got. Some people are like, it's gotta be Samus. Another person says Sora goes final form and kills Samus. Another one says the Keyblade would bounce off of Samus's suit.
And then what?
And would fry, and then she would fry Sora with a single blast, is what it says.
Wow.
And then the next person says Sora is being seriously underrated here. He has ranged attacks and can control elements and heal himself.
Okay,
Dude.
let me ask you three a question that have already stated what you're voting. What would it take for Sora to lose? Like try to defend Samus. And what is a scenario in which Sora could lose? You guys are the ones that know the most about Sora, so how do you defeat Sora?
I think he has to lose heart somehow. And then he's defeated.
You have to take him down morally. You have to take him down emotionally first. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 87,507 votes on a wiki fandom, Sora versus Samus. 65.8% say Samus would win.
I'm thinking about the final boss in Kingdom Hearts 2, Xemnas, through all of his stages. When you fight him throwing buildings at you, when you fight him as a giant spaceship, when you fight him when he's in his armor, when you fight him when he's shooting lasers and has 2 lightsabers. Like, I don't...
But Sora's not by himself in any of those. Is he?
No, but
no one else really does anything. They just kind of are there.
yeah, in the last
Moral
one,
support.
there's one time where he gets frozen or whatever, and Riku has to save him. But aside from that, I mean, there are literal like skyscrapers getting thrown at him, and he's cutting them in half and kicking them right back at what's his face, Xemnas, by himself. This is before Riku is there with him.
That's one sharp key.
Yeah. And yeah, especially if he's like in his final form, which I don't even think he could do in. Yeah, I don't know. With all the lasers that he's able to block, yeah, Riku was blocking some of them, but that was because Xemnas was using magic to have 1,000 bajillion lasers. Samus can't make lasers form out of nothing in a sphere around someone, at least as far as I know. So all of the attacks would be coming from a singular point. I think Sora would have no problem blocking anything that Samus shoots at him. As far as the Keyblade getting ricocheted off Samus's armor, I don't know what her armor is made out of, but his Keyblade can cut through a lot of stuff. But
I think that I don't think his Keyblade could cut through Samus's armor. I really don't. I do think that it would be a good fight, and that it's possible that Sora might try and appeal to even Samus's heart. So maybe Sora would be able to... Nah, that's a stupid argument. This is a KO match, man. And Sora's not going to trick Samus to taking any of the armor off and then KO Samus. He wouldn't do that.
Nor do I think Samus would fall for it. Like, Samus is a fighter and a warrior. I'm sure she's been presented with many options of moral dilemma that she's a soldier. Like, she's there to do a task, and she's going to do the task.
Wakes up, chooses violence.
Okay, so we talked all about Sora's absolute crazy abilities and what he can dodge. I think if I think if Samus did like an absolute blast at him and he had his Keyblade, he'd like be able to block it off. I really do. I think he can block it with a spinning Keyblade.
Or even reflect.
Yeah, and I just don't see how what's Samus going to do that's, aside from freezing a sun, like if she was able to pull that move off, she might be able to freeze Sora in place, which is something that he's gotten before, and might be able to take him out that way.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I feel like we're at a disadvantage with Samus, kind of like how we started out originally with Master Chief, that we just didn't know enough about Samus, and I feel like there's a lot that we're missing in understanding of who she is, what she's capable of, what her armor's capable of, what weapons she has at her disposal.
But I also think she's a lot more simple than Sora is.
Yes, I think that's true.
Maybe even just because of when their games were made.
Yeah.
You guys ready to vote, or we want to talk a little bit more? This is the finale. This is the championship. The greatest of all.
It's the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
I think I'm ready to vote.
That
I mean,
song
at
came
least
up.
I've got my vote, and I just don't really see an argument otherwise. But that's just me. So why don't we vote?
Jordan, Dan, you guys got anything else to add?
I don't. I'm trying to read through some stuff about Samus and Sora, and I'm like, I'm not seeing anything that changes my mind, so.
Oh, you're going to say something?
Nope, you're good.
All in favor of Sora winning the fight against Samus and thus winning the entire tournament, raise your hand.
Oh, snap.
4-1. Daniel voted for Samus. Dang.
That's it.
I think Samus deserved at least 2 of those 10 battles to win.
Yeah.
That's fair.
There's people listening to this might be a little confused that some of our options or picks, I guess. Like Samus, Metroid, haven't played a lot of it, I don't think, and other games, Star Fox, a lot of the Nintendo stuff, I think a good number of us haven't had a lot of exposure to. And so if you feel we have wronged one of your favorite characters, let us know in the comments, and we will read them.
I want to take a second to shout out someone who's been our biggest fan for the past couple of weeks. I'm going to shout out a man by the name of JJ Dunn. JJ,
Hey.
We want to thank you for your support and thank you for sharing us, I guess, with your friends and turning them onto it and just texting me all the time with ideas. And it's been huge, man. So everybody say thanks to JJ.
Thanks, JJ.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
listening. And thanks to the rest of you guys that are listening out there. We really do appreciate it. And we're just literally talking to each other and having a good time. And so the fact that anyone would want to listen to it is pretty cool. So
It's true. Thanks also to our Patreon supporters. You know who you are. and we know who you are too, and it's a huge help. We are using all of that money to further the podcast along and keep it going. So thank you so much for that. And man, May Madness 2021, the first annual May Madness. Any ideas for future May Madnesses? Go ahead, leave a comment on Twitter, on Instagram, or holler at ya boys. Because I know a lot of you probably know who we are and probably have our numbers, so just text us.
Yes. You can also get in touch with us via our Twitter in a number of different ways, or via our Instagram, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
If you just drop a comment on either of those, we definitely read them, definitely consider them. So,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed. This is huge, guys. This is awesome. A big deal. We're coming up on a year. Coming up on a year of Flicks and Clicks. Can you guys believe that?
When
That's
does
so
it?
cool.
When is the year? Because I thought we were already past the year.
The year
It's in
is
August, right?
No, I believe May 28th was the very first episode.
What?
I
was way wrong.
can look that up. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone. A whole year of yeah, it's great.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Sora
by
wins
time
May
this
Madness.
drops, it'll be May 28th. So if that is the 1 year,
No,
Happy
May
anniversary.
31st. May 31st. So by the time this one drops, this will be the last one before, yeah, because this one will drop May 28th. And then 3 days later, well, there won't be another episode until then. So pretty crazy.
Pretty freaking crazy, dude.
Wow.
This
So
has been good times.
Insane.
wow, good times. So now that we've done a year, we're done. So no more Flicks and
That's
Clicks. Just kidding. We've got more planned. Actually, I don't know if Keelan and I have more planned, but we will.
Absolutely not.
I have like 2 weeks in a row that I could do. So I'm trying to give Keelan some time off since he's done a lot on May Madness. Next week, I'm about 99% sure we're going to do The Last of Us Part 2 review. Not The Last of Us Part 2, but it's similar to that. A Quiet Place Part 2. Quiet Place Part 2 comes out this Friday on the 28th. Comes out the same day that this podcast airs. And I am going to see it that Friday because the theaters here where I live are now open. And so I'm going to see it and review it. It's going to be great. Not The Last of Us Part 2. Already been there. Already done that. Quiet Place Part 2. It's going to be good.
I'm excited for that.
Dude. Quiet Place. I saw an ad for that the other day on YouTube. Like, it was like a banner ad, and I was like, wow.
Anybody want to review it with me?
I'm interested.
Scary movies scare me.
Same.
That's what they're supposed to do, Jordan.
No, when I went to go see Avengers, a movie, there was a trailer for Nun, and there was like a jump scare in it. I jumped so far out of my seat that the lady 2 seats over felt it. Like,
I thought you were going to say that
know.
you were scared of Avengers Endgame.
no, it was the trailer before. And then they shut the
Okay,
lights
got it.
off, and I was a little upset.
I
now
saw
that
the
we've
Nun.
sufficiently spooked you,
Did you
Let's
see The
turn the
Nun?
lights off.
Was it good, Keelan?
No. It was very much not good.
Cool. Well, any last words? Not that we're going to kill anyone, just saying.
Don't go to Bugsleyville. The bridge is out.
What is that from? Is that
That
from
is-
Sly Cooper?
No,
That
it's
is
from
from-
Larry Boy.
That is
Oh.
from VeggieTales. Yeah.
VeggieTales Larry Boy, man.
It's stuck in my head
Bugsleyville,
forever.
the bridge is out. Oh, that's too good right there. That's good stuff.
Well,
Take us away, Keelan.
if you're looking for something fun to do for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I can't recommend this enough. Cheaper by the Dozen, starring Steve Martin, Ashley Tisdale, Henry Cavill, and a bunch of other rascals. If you don't have time for that,
Only one of those people is in there, by the way.
yeah.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, really, really good.
Denzel
Anyway.
Washington
Man, they should reboot Cheaper by the Dozen
with
and have
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington as everybody.
I would
think that
watch
would be
that.
really good.
I would
Oh my
pay
gosh,
money to
it'd be
watch
like
that.
It's like the Nutty Professor, but not.
Congratulations to Sora for winning.
Congrats, Sora. I couldn't be happier. As a insane Kingdom Hearts fan, I couldn't be happier.
Same.
Now
Agreed.
I feel like I need to play Kingdom Hearts.
You absolutely need to play Kingdom Hearts. It's
Did
a
you
must.
just say now you feel like you need to play Kingdom Hearts?
Well, I
Jimmy?
knew I wanted to, but like I started playing it and I got lost, and I was just like, this is hard. I mean,
Yeah.
it's moving down my list.
Thank you for watching, listening, and if you go enjoy your night, go see a movie if you can. Do it, please. It'd be really good.
Do it for Pete's sake.
Come on, what the heck
do it
is
for
wrong with
Pete.
you?
Do it for Pete. Can we start that hashtag? Hashtag do it for Pete.
Hashtag do it for Pete.
Do it for Pete.
Who's Pete?
I thought maybe if we was having a roast chicken one night or something.